Yes, as a matter of fact, if you are currently in Star Wars, because we're showing off the fact that we were able to purchase the guild ship tonight for the meeting, I would
Nice.
like to make sure that that's available to everyone. If you are currently active in Star Wars: The Old Republic, would like to have your characters lined up on the command deck. This was a tremendous amount of work. It took many man hours from a very large number of people who contributed enormously to put this together. We were able to get this thing in 6 days. It took many guilds months of saving to do it. The Star Wars meetings will be held on Sundays. I believe would be the best day for everyone. This is a general guild meeting. I wanted to go over it. So let's make sure people are in the main channel and ready to go.
The meeting
officially starts in about 12 minutes. I have updated the front page of our website. JT has been able to provide a new guide on Oshrin, which is the world PvP zone coming in Warlords of Draenor. It is something for you all to look at. There's also the last week's post regarding the construction of the Guild Dreadnought. We have been together in one form or another for about 10 years now, and we've always wanted a proper guild hall, and this is the first time we've been able to have one since arguably Conan, and that really barely counted. So at this point, it's something nice to have. It's something available to all of you as members of this guild, and it's a free-to-play game. You can all make characters. There's a planetary conquest system, which literally allows us to invade planets and take them over. It's an interesting system. It involves air support and everything else. But if you're interested in checking it out, let's get the Ruin stream linked so everyone can see it.
The Twitch is acting up tonight, Og. Those people are DDoSing it off the ass tonight.
So is Twitch not working?
Not right now if you haven't been logged in for a while.
All right. The guild meetings generally start in the next few minutes. We're getting people on TeamSpeak to get set up. We're going to go over a variety of general game news. There's a lot of interesting things happening out there. It's 2 weeks after Gamescom, so most of the major reveals have been done, but we are getting close to the launch of some other games that we are checking out, so I wanted to make sure that we covered that for everyone. Twitch, unfortunately, seems to be down as far as I can tell. For those of you who are completely unaware, unfortunately, there have been long, persistent, and consistent DDoS attacks on many gaming-related platforms. Blizzard has had enormous problems. Our servers were down 3 nights in a row in World of Warcraft. We have had significant problems with League of Legends, and now it appears that Twitch is also being targeted. I've been updating the Guild Facebook page, and we'll be more up to date on our forums. We're getting everything set up for the Swtor branch at this time. There's a new system and a new expansion that was released last week. They just opened up the planetary conquest system today. We are already involved with the invasion of Hoth. I do have a video of us purchasing the guild ship last night. For those of you who are unable to log into the Twitch stream, which as far as I can gather, this is going to be our best bet. So we're going to go through some other general gaming news as soon as the meeting starts in 6 minutes. But as a note, Diablo 2.10 has been released, and there have been some significant changes.
Hey, do you still need any more donations for decoration shit? You got?
Yes, it's 5 million credits per additional area. I thought it would be the egalitarian thing to do to open up the crew deck, which is player housing for all of you.
All right, I'll go ahead and buy that. Do I got rights to buy for the ship?
You just have to put money into the bank.
Oh, okay.
All right, we do have a video from our activities last night purchasing it. It's a very significant input of time and effort to get it done. And I do want all of you to know that you are, as members of this organization, all members of the other organizations in other games. We have a very active branch in Swtor. We just reactivated it when it is in fact full. Again, at 498 of 500 members, I've actually already had to begin removing inactives from it. The Galactic Conquest system there involves taking our guild starship and attacking other planets and invading them with walkers and ground forces, of which you are present and part of. So we are, in fact, invading the planet of Hoth right now with our ship. It's pretty impressive. It involves many other side missions. You have to do starfighter missions, which is a free flight game that they've put in, which is quite a bit of fun. A lot of pre-made PvP, and then the actual conquest of bases on the planet, where we bring our players into a base and wipe out all of the guards, NPCs, and players for bonuses, etc. So it's quite a lot of fun, and that's what we're doing. We're good to go. Right, the World of Warcraft branch has 120 people online. We were able to fill up the guild to 1,000, and we've removed about 100 inactives, and we've been able to continually bring in more people. Going forward, it is currently August 26th. It is, as a result, a quiet period usually in the guild. We tend to conduct our real-world guild meetups in late July, August. We had our meetup on Cape Cod. This year, we also have plans to meet up for BlizzCon. We tend to have meetups for E3. There's also other events for West Coast members. There will be additional meetups for East Coast members. All that will be available on the website, covered during the meetings, and members will be generally available for that. I know there's generally informal presence for PAX and also Comic Cons, and some people do Dragon Cons, but that's all secondary. Last event we did was the Warlords of Draenor cinematic trailer release event in Los Angeles. We were there, Tally was there, many of the other streamers were there. It was quite a bit of fun. We discussed many of the changes going forward. As I said, Diablo has released its patch 2.10 today. I posted the information on that to Facebook. It's also on the forums. There's an article there. If you enjoy that, that's basically something that I want you to look at if you're interested in returning. There's some information I'm posting regarding Firefall. I don't believe it's a major interest for most of the people here, but at this time, I do want to discuss Warlords of Draenor, and I want to discuss what's going on with the Galactic Strongholds expansion for SWTOR. So going forward, this is a World PvP guild. For any of you who are just joining, we do large-scale world PvP. It's our claim to fame. It's our focus. We were extremely active in games like Warhammer Online, Guild Wars 2, anything that had a large-scale world PvP system. We've generally been, if not the top organization in the world, one of the top organizations in the world, and we've always been part of very successful coalitions. We, as an organization, use a very simple system. Yes, Felix, I'll get that to you. Basically, the way in which we organize the guild is very straightforward. It's a meritocracy. It is a military hierarchy, which is there purely to maintain a degree of discipline when we have a large number of players engaged in not only many different games, but also in very large-scale fighting across multiple campaign theaters. It was not uncommon in Guild Wars 2, for instance, for us to have 400 or 500 people online in TeamSpeak at the same time. The reason why this is a 1,000 slot TeamSpeak is because at times it does get used for it. And as a result, we're going to need to recognize that going into both the Galactic Strongholds expansion and into Warlords of Draenor, large-scale world PvP is something that is part of the game. Now, in Warlords, they're taking away flying. You can no longer simply avoid fighting as you have since Burning Crusade. You're going to have to play like it was in vanilla. And for those of you who fought the world bosses like Azuragos and Lord Kazakh and the Green Dragons and all of the rest of that, where the entire server comes out to get that world boss kill, it's a huge, huge clusterfuck. Pardon my French. When you have the entire server fighting over a single objective, the lag is intense. It's chaotic. There are mass casualties. Keeping order, keeping an objective, being able to have enough wherewithal to keep everyone together as a unit to achieve objectives is how you get things done. And that's how it's going to be in Warlords. Both of the capital cities are adjacent to the world PvP island of Oshran. It is where the endgame gear drops. It isn't Tolbarad or Wintergrasp where you do it for alt for fun and a lark and you do the hardcore quote-unquote PvP in arenas and battlegrounds. It's all going to be out in Oshran. That's where you're going to get the top end gear. It's a very interesting system. It's covered in depth in the posts that have been put up by JT, Tier List, and Rate of Fire. They've been very diligent in covering information for all of you, for you to have fun as a PvP player in Warlords of Draenor. You're going to have to be able to work with us in Oshrin effectively as part of a unit. And for those of you who are getting there day one, you're going to be our veteran core. You're going to be able to provide field leadership and your experience to benefit all of the new recruits that will be joining us at launch. And believe me, there will be many. This is on Bleeding Hollow, the world PvP server. It's the destination server to be on. Tally will be moving a character here. We'll probably be getting a lot of additional exposure so long as the rate of PvP remains high. And so far, we have every indication that's going to continue. So, we will be doing many more training events. We're going to be doing some world boss clearing tonight in WoW. It's purely to teach you guys how to move from point A to point B, follow instructions in high lag environments where there's a lot of people involved, and be able to keep communications clear and crisp so we can move to one boss, get it down, everyone gets loot, everyone's happy, move to the next, and everyone can do that efficiently with minimal problems. And as time goes on, we will translate these into more offensive world PvP groups once I'm satisfied that you are all able to do that without chaos and confusion. Many of the guilds that we fight on the Horde side, they are purely Zerg guilds. They are chaotic. Listening to their communications on their, they use Ventrilo, they're a bit out of date. Everyone talks over everyone else. There's ambiguous target calling. Nobody knows what's going on. There's panic when they're pressured. And as a result of that, they have not done very well fighting us. They attempted to bomb our first guild meeting when we were doing our world boss clear, and we destroyed them. Even though they outnumbered us in terms of level 90 geared players, we were able to outperform them because we had more people on TeamSpeak, more well-disciplined, focusing on the right targets, and we won decisively, and we wiped them out over 7 times completely. That is a win based entirely on organization and good communication practices, and that is what we will need to build on. We're always going to be outnumbered. On almost every server we play on, we're almost always significantly outnumbered. Bastion might be one of the few areas where it's more balanced. I'm not exactly sure what the population is or what the population statistics are, if they allow that at all. So that's the situation for the 2 major games going forward. We will be doing more training and everything else, but I'll give some more time to Swtor to discuss what's going on. Today is the first day of the Galactic Conquest system. If you were not here for the previous meeting on Tuesday, we have officially returned to Star Wars to do the Galactic Strongholds expansion. It has a housing component. We've put up some links covering what that's about. There are links covering specifically the details of that new system on the front page of ruination.com. It is something for all of you to look at. For those of you who played Star Wars Galaxies way back in the day with us, it's a great expansion to the game. It's something that I do actively recommend that you check out. You all have access to playing if you'd like. And BioWare's done a lot to improve the game since we played 2 years ago. It's a much more mature, much more polished game than it was when we played on the Crucible Pits as Republic all those years ago. We were the largest guild in all of Star Wars The Old Republic at the launch. We had 4 active branches all capped out. We were playing against the top-end PvP and media guilds on Crucible Pits, which we defeated without too much difficulty, decisively and consistently, until they eventually quit the game en masse, and our server was ultimately shut down. We were lords of a dead server, sadly. But that's the situation. If you are interested or a fan, please look into it. There are some other major game news tidbits that have been released over the last few weeks. For those of you who are part of our console group who will be playing Destiny, we will have a small branch set up there depending on level of interest. I love Bungie games. I think that sci-fi is great. Hopefully we'll have some fun with it. That's currently where we're at. For those of you who are in the other branches, I want to get some screenshots, Mr. Phoenix, of our guild meeting here.
Roger that.
And then I'm going to officially state that at this time on Sundays, evening on Sundays, we'll have our official guild meetings in our Star Wars branch. We'll be doing operations, we'll be doing flashpoints, we'll be doing planetary conquest. There will be appointments of officers and non-commissioned officers for that branch made based entirely on merit. Right now we are currently fundraising for additional unlocks in our ship. We currently have the command deck as our next, and crew quarters that have to be unlocked. But it is literally, I wish you could see the stream, it is literally a Star Destroyer. It's a mile long. It has 7 decks. It is huge. It's completely customizable. You can land your personal starships in it. It is an incredible thing. We promised years ago that if they ever gave us the Guild Capital Ship Guildhall, we would return and we would play this game again. And we have. We've achieved this in a very brief amount of time, and I'm very pleased to see the activity. And I think this is a good precursor to future sci-fi games that will be offering this type of customization. I expect to see elements of this in subsequent games like Star Citizen, and we will do some additional news and updates on that for next week. Otherwise, I'm going to cut this thing reasonably short. Swtor Branch, you are dismissed to your channels. You may continue to focus on getting the planet of Hoth conquered through the Conquest tab. Make sure that you're running as many war zones, galactic starfighter missions, and flashpoints as possible. And very proud of all of you for the very significant contributions you've made in achieving the construction of this vessel within a week of very, very hard work and generous contributions from many of the higher level players that have joined us and have reactivated accounts from previous incarnations of the guild years ago. Now in World of Warcraft, we're going to move out for the World Boss Clear.